You know, as soon as I get off the plane in Las Vegas, I get this little tingling sensation in my fingers. This may have something to do with it. Welcome to the first stop on my Las Vegas journey. It's the first hotel I ever stayed in on my first trip to Las Vegas, and we're gonna see what the newly renovated rooms look like at MGM Grand. All right, MGM Grand, here we are. I was able to check into my room on the app. They actually sent me a notification like 3 days ago saying I could go ahead and pre-check in. So I did that, and right before I landed, they sent me a notification saying my room was ready. So I don't have to wait in line. There's not much of a line right now anyway. But it's also only, I don't even know what time it is, but it's like 11 o'clock in the morning right now on a Saturday. And I don't have to check my bags in with anybody, and I can just go straight up to my room. So really happy with that. All right, I've seen some other people's videos about this, and all of this is completely renovated. They're in the midst of a $300 million renovation to guest rooms, which was much needed. And I think a lot of people have said that this is giving a Star Wars vibe, and I have to agree so far. The hallways look really nice. This actually reminds me a little bit of the Bellagio. It's a little bit different in the decor, but it's bright like the Bellagio and smells good. So we'll see how the room is. This is definitely a new piece. Neon artwork in the hallways, and it's kind of like space themed. So I think we're gonna see some more of that. It's a lot better than the last time I stayed here at MGM Grand. I thought that this property has been in need of some big time room renovations for a while now. I've actually not stayed at an MGM property for more than like a night or two in the last couple of years. And I've been gambling at other properties, and I'm still getting good offers. MGM Grand is one of the properties where they don't even make you pay tax or resort fee when you stay. So that's obviously a huge advantage. So my total for staying here for one night is $0.00. Some of the things I like about this room are the lighting under the bed. And I think overall the color scheme is a lot better. I'm interested to see how it all looks at night, especially since MGM is known for having this green glow that comes off the buildings. But yeah, the bathroom looks good, everything's clean. It has a unique smell in here. It smells clean, but I can't quite decide whether I like the scent that they're using in here or not. But I don't have any complaints. It looks good in here. I've got a nice view. I can see the Aria, the Waldorf, and Planet Hollywood, and I can actually see the Sphere as well. The fact that it's a Saturday, it makes a $0 comp room that much better, and you don't have that much room to complain when it's a completely comped room. But I'm sure some people would find a way to complain anyway. But the price of eating and gambling and everything can really add up. So being part of MGM Rewards program and staying within their kind of ecosystem of properties, especially on this end of the strip, is a really smart way to kind of approach your travel in Las Vegas. Okay, one thing I wanted to add, and I don't remember if they had this in the old MGM Grand rooms, but they did add personal fridge to the guest room, in addition to the mini fridge, which is obviously full of all the overpriced stuff that you don't need, but the personal empty mini fridge is a big plus, and I'm pretty sure they were charging people at one point to put this in their room, so I'm sure that's a big plus for anybody that wants to have cold water in the middle of the night. first thing I thought I would do, since I just got here, is just walk around the property and see what's different, what's the same, and just kind of get a lay of the land. I've obviously been here like, a million different times, whether it's just staying or just walking through. So interested to kind of see what's different. I'm gonna take a walk now through what they call the district here in Las Vegas. This is where you're gonna find a lot of restaurants. Everybody knows this Cowboy Bar. Losers, Most Wanted Bar. Everybody knows it because it's so loud. But they've added some new restaurants like Lucchini. And the good thing about this place is that they offer pizza by the slice. I don't know what the prices look like. I'm assuming it's like $10 for a slice, which is typical for the Strip. But it's good to see an option like that kind of be added to the portfolio of Las Vegas eating at MGM Grand. It's actually a little bit cheaper than what I thought. $9 instead of $10, which is good. I don't know how that compares to the place that's in the food court over here, but this is one thing that MGM Grand really needs to figure out. And not just MGM Grand, but all of the MGM Resorts properties have really expensive food courts. And nobody wants to spend a premium price for like Nathan's hot dogs. I think a lot of people can justify spending a little bit more if it's on, places that are more similar to what they have at the Venetian food court, just because the perceived quality is a little bit better. But like these chain places that are in MGM Grand are just too expensive. Like this cheese slice here is $10. So it's more than the place that's around the corner. And just from a brand perspective, I would rather have the place around the corner. The burgers here at Johnny Rockets, they have these at multiple different MGM properties, but for a burger combo is $20. $25 for a double cheeseburger is just, I can't justify that, especially when the Strip has places like In-N-Out that are bigger chains than Johnny Rockets, and their price is pretty affordable in the Link Promenade. And of course, In-N-Out is just kind of a cheaper eating option in general, but even this place, original chicken tender, chicken and waffles, $23. And I'm just not gonna go out of my way to eat at any of these places when they're just completely overpriced. And I feel like if I went 2 blocks off the Strip, I would be getting a lot better deal. The district kind of looks dead tonight. This is also your main walkway to get to the pool in the summer. It's 2 weeks before Christmas now, so there aren't a lot of pool and swimming options in Vegas, but I'm actually not sure if the MGM Grand pool is open. I'm probably not gonna have a chance to go out there, but they do have a great pool. It was the first pool in Las Vegas that I ever experienced, and the lazy river is great. They play good music out there. It's like the perfect resort pool. And so if you're coming out here for the first time, you want to like have the full experience in the summertime, the MGM Grand pool is definitely a place that you'll enjoy. I'll say that the last time that I was at that pool though, the music was explicit and it was just a little bit inappropriate, I think, for the amount of kids that find their way to the MGM Grand pool. So I felt like the vibe was just a little bit off. This is one of the new popular attractions at MGM Grand right now. It's the Friends Experience. I'm not exactly sure what it entails. I know it's like photo opportunities. You can buy merchandise, take a picture on the chair, and kind of pretend that you're in the show. I think tickets are around like $50, which I think it's a little bit pricey for what it is. Another big part of MGM Grand is the MGM Grand Garden Arena. There's a ton of events that get hosted here. Grammys were here a couple years ago, tons of fights. There's been movies filmed in here. So a pretty historic place. I think this was Las Vegas's first real arena. I've actually never seen this open like this, so it's cool to see the entrance to the arena. But yeah, that's the thing about MGM Grand that I find really cool, and all of these properties for that matter, is that the history of the properties, it's kind of hidden history because Las Vegas is such a flashy, ever-changing city that you forget about all the history that has happened. But if you look into kind of what MGM Grand has been over the years, and the fact that this isn't even the first MGM Grand, it's the second. The first MGM Grand is down the block at where the Horseshoe is currently. There's just a lot of fun facts that you can kind of learn about all of these different properties, and I find it really interesting. We're headed into the underground now. This is where you can access the monorail and the Uber and the Lyft and multiple other things. MGM Grand's rideshare is right outside these doors, and it's always a pretty busy one. I'm on the Las Vegas monorail platform. This is one of the big advantages of staying at MGM Grand or any of the properties that are on the monorail line. You can get to basically anywhere that's on the east side of the strip pretty easily by taking the monorail. It goes all the way from the MGM Grand and it goes all the way up to Sahara. It has a handful of stops at multiple different properties. One of the downsides of it is that it does take you kind of a long time to walk from the casino floor or the main part of the hotel to the monorail station. After you've visited here enough, you come to realize that nothing is as close as what you thought it was. But the monorail really helps you cut down on the amount of time that you spend walking around. So it's worth paying for a 24-hour pass or however many times you want to ride it to get you where you need to go. Now, if you haven't heard, the Oakland A's, Sacramento A's are moving to Las Vegas. That's why I'm wearing this hat today. Just across from MGM Grand is right here behind me. Just across the street, the old location of the Tropicana. That's where they're currently building the new A's stadium. There's been a lot of controversy about that, about whether they actually had the funding, but it seems like the construction is happening. I think it'll be great for Las Vegas. I mean, the Raiders have done great. The Aces are awesome. Have some of the best crowds out of any pro basketball games that I've ever been to. So I think the A's will be an awesome addition to Las Vegas. This is the walkway that used to connect the MGM Grand to the Tropicana. Obviously, the Tropicana is no more. It'll be interesting to see what happens with the construction, because on the site plans at the moment, there's supposed to be a Bally's Casino here on the corner, so I'll be interested to see if this walkway remains as is or how they'll handle that connection from MGM Grand. This is some interesting information about the MGM Grand Lion. It says that it is the largest bronze sculpture in the Western Hemisphere. Something that I didn't know. At one point, there was an entrance to MGM Grand where you would walk through what was perceived to be the mouth of the lion, but they had to remove that lion because Asian tourists associated walking through the mouth of the lion with bad luck. This lion is still here. This was a pretty good first day in Las Vegas, pretty good day at MGM Grand. I only have one day at MGM Grand, so I was kind of in a rush today to kind of walk around and see everything and do everything I wanted to do on this end of the strip before I switch to my next hotel tomorrow, which is North Strip. But overall, my thoughts on MGM Grand are pretty good. I mean, I think they're doing a really good job renovating the things that need to be renovated, but still keeping the character that makes MGM Grand unique. One thing that MGM properties do really well is keep their properties unique. And I think a lot of people criticize Vegas hotels for not being themed in the way that they were in the 90s, but I think all of the MGM properties still have a unique identity. MGM Grand is nothing like Bellagio. Bellagio is nothing like Aria. They're definitely not like New York, or Luxor, or Excalibur. So I think in that regard, they do a good job keeping the character. There's still like a lot of things that I would like to see kind of return to Vegas that I never got to see. Like they used to have real tigers kind of near where I'm walking right now. And it used to be, the whole hotel used to be Wizard of Oz themed. I think there's some of those elements like that would be really cool to see return in some way. Maybe not the same exact thing. I know they had an incident with a lion. I think I said a tiger, but the lions that they had on display. I think they had an incident where it attacked a trainer, so I don't think that the lions will be returning. You know, times have changed, and so there's obviously a lot of differences, but you know, I think a lot of these properties are trying to shift their mindset and kind of change the way that they're doing things, because obviously the price of doing business and the price of visiting Las Vegas has skyrocketed over the last few years, but people still want to come to Las Vegas, people still want to gamble, and I think that the age of your average gambler has probably decreased, and there's a lot of interest from people my age and younger that want to come to Las Vegas. They want to know about all the different hotels, they want to know about what's going on in the city, and so I think it's just, Las Vegas is far from dead. Just walking around today, you know, I'm here on a Saturday, so obviously it's going to be busy, but I would say Las Vegas is so far from dead. Anytime you come here on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, it's going to look a lot different than what it does on a Saturday. But, you know, I think Las Vegas is kind of in a transition period right now, and once they figure out what the consumer wants in 2026, which, you know, obviously everybody wants cheaper prices and resort fees to go away, and the overall cost to just be more affordable, because the cost of living in general is just so expensive now. But I think for a lot of reasons, it's just going to take time for Las Vegas to kind of catch up to where it needs to be. Good morning. It's time to switch hotels. All right. It's been a day at MGM Grand. Just a quick trip to MGM Grand to check out this new room and kind of give my first impressions on it. Like I've said this whole time, I think it's a big improvement. I will add one negative thing. I've not been super negative, but I am getting a little bit of a smoky smell in here right now. I can't tell if it's coming out of the air vents. I was thinking maybe it was on my clothes from being in the casinos last night, but I'm pretty sure it's just like a kind of a lingering smoking smell, which obviously isn't ideal. Like, it's not a make or break for me, but it's obviously not something you want to have in your hotel room. And I'm sure that's going to vary from room to room, depending on what room you get when you stay here. And another thing, there's no full-length mirror in this whole room. It's not like a huge deal for me, but I was just noticing it last night before I went out that it's kind of uncommon to get a hotel room and not have a full-length mirror at this point. So you can use the bathroom mirror, but I'd say that's something that they probably missed on with this room. Obviously, based on the way I'm dressed, all my stuff packed, I'm getting ready to head to my next hotel. Let me know if any of you guys have stayed in one of these newly renovated rooms at MGM Grand. Let me know what you guys think in comparison to the old rooms of the past. See you next time.
1, 2, 3. Cheers!